Okay, everyone. So today, basically, we want to use BigQuery, and I want to record this as to remember on how to use it for some machine learning process. So the first thing first is we go to BigQuery and we go to BigQuery Studio and going to create dataset. So we create dataset with name as BigQuery Machine Learning Lab, and then there are a couple of options down there you can choose. I choose multi-region and I click create dataset. So it's a lot of button here. It could be like counting and scary, but do not worry about it. The first thing is you just need to get used to with all this query. So what we want to do now is try to type SQL query here, and what I want to do, the first thing is try to create or collecting the training model. So first thing is I want to collect all the transactions, the country and so on, and then I click run, and the data is basically how much the sales has been done with what operating system, what the network and so on, from where the data and so on. Actually this is data set from Coursera. So yeah, that's you will get to know when you go for Coursera course and try to find. Anyway, we get here all the training set that we will put to train. So basically this is the data set that the limit we set up until 10,000 from 2016 on June, as you could see, till 2017 on June. So this is like 1 year data, and therefore like 10,000, I think it's quite enough data, 10,000 to run for the training, and hopefully we can use this as a good enough. So the first also the next thing to do is basically save. So you need to save this view. If you confuse where to save this view, it's not on the save button down, but you have to go up in above the query. So this is where the view coming from. So you see save here and create a save view down there, and then the name will be still the same from the name of this data set, and then the name of the project is usually from the username of you, and then BQML underscore lab. The table will name it as training data. So this is where the data we will take as the training. If you have like kind of YouTube video or so on, and you want to also make some guess on machine learning, you can also use this data for that. So basically we would like to predict the sales, right? So we will use some query and some model with regression. The next thing, or the task 3, is create the model that we will use logistic regression. Logistic meaning like you want to make the data into log by making like a log format of every number, so the standard deviation will not too huge. You click run basically, and here you need to also wait because the model need to run and train from the training data. During this process you can also explore what all others beside training. There is other informations under the details. So here you could already see there is like how the model letter will predict and how accurate every single model. Basically the query basically like create or replace model. The name is BQML underscore lab sample model, and model type is logistic regression. Select all from BQML lab training data. So here you get the model usually run in the very a long period of time. So here is already take 2 minutes 10 seconds, and then we'll go down there to see the number. So you got this big query and so on. Okay, and as you could see that the time is go to 3 minutes, so you already finished. So you go to model. From this model you could see all this all the prediction from the training. So as you could see, there is like learning rate, the evaluation, precision recall based on threshold, how much the predicted label, and so on. So okay, so we click back to the training data. The previously on the training data, basically you could see there is a graph, but there is also the format of table. So you could also see on the format of the table on BQML Lab. So we will not go to this replica. You can skip here. Here is I'm just going around and browsing, but actually what you need to go is to the training data, yes, and then going to table explorer. This is like if you want to see the detail of your query, this is also good to see around, but what we want to see is more into back to the training data and then the sample model and the click training. So there is a view as a graph, but there is also view as the table. So how much the training data loss, evaluation data loss, learn rate, and also duration after a 7-time iteration. So it's quite a lot of iterations happening here. Now let's make a new query. We will use this model and let's evaluate the accuracy. You put this query, evaluate the model, you run, so you get like how much precision and what's the accuracy of the model. Pretty good to use, because you can use like logistic based on dimension, based on cluster and so on. So here after we've analyze and evaluate the model, we can use also the model itself, and the way to do it is by use this model and also using this big query. Basically we want to predict how much the sales, so we use the model to predict also the sales of such a event, and this is what we will save it as July data. So it's like the training data that we take from previous training data, we put it into the model itself, and then from here we can use to predict the purchase. So the first one that we will use is like we will predict purchase per country or the region. Oh, okay, before don't forget to save and name it as June data. Sorry, not July but June data. Okay, or July also, it's actually supposed to be June. Anyway, so after we get this, we go to the new query and we will predict or the number of purchase per country or per region, plus here paste the query, as you could see, from the sum of predicted label, and then select this one, and we will see the result. So basically in every country how much the number of the purchase will be. So this is actually very good information to know in which country you need to focus and we want to basically focus on. And then you also can see actually the predicted number not based on the country, but you can also use it per individual. So in this per individual you basically can use this query and then you run and then you get the number per individual, and yeah, so that's how the process look like. Okay, so hopefully this useful and helpful for you to know a little bit about BigQuery, how to use it, what's to put the training data, put the model, and yeah, thank you very much for following. Bye bye.